Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows. We're jumping down to verse 9. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is coming to me. And I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppressed them. And let us consider for our text this morning that 7th verse, And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt, and have heard their cry, the reasons of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows. And let us consider for our subject for the day, the changing face of America. The changing face of America. And as was mentioned earlier today, we had a vote this past Tuesday. We had a vote on the President of the United States. Amen. And as you all know or should know, that President Obama won a second term. Amen. A lot of things occurred as a result of that. You know, they did some great political studies and a lot of analytical studies of America. The politicians, not the politicians, but the people who helped with the campaigns and things of that nature, the polling and all that, they've done a wonderful job in mapping out, strategizing, and understanding the heartbeat of America. My brothers and sisters, I'll stop by to tell you that we are now facing a changing America. Yes, sir. The face of America is changing. Yes, sir. As before this last election, the previous election, where Obama won, before that, it was always a good old boy type situation. You know, there was a lot of backroom dealings and things of that nature. The power was in the hands of a few. But as we well know, and it's been evident throughout biblical history, that God will only allow things to happen for so long. God will only allow things to stand for so long. He will eventually intervene. Now, that's a poor choice of words. Not eventually intervene. He has intervened from the start to bring together people, times, and situations at that appointed time to bring about His will. My brothers and sisters, we are now in the midst of a changing America. The politics no longer belong to just a selected few. The power of politics aren't just in the hands of the rich and mighty anymore. My brothers and sisters, America has spoken. It has spoken loud and clear that things have got to change. That things is changing and things will change. My brothers and sisters, just to give you an illustration of what I'm talking about, as far as God intervening, let us take a look at our text here. At verse 7 it says, And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt. If you remember from your Bible study that Egypt was under bondage. Egypt was under bondage and in enslavement under the authority and auspices of the Roman government. They were stern taskmasters, hard taskmasters, and they were hard on the Egyptian people. They did not care how hard they worked them. They worked them until they dropped. They worked them until they died. They had no consideration, no compassion, no concern for the Egyptian people. And all along this thing was happening, the Egyptian people were crying out to the Lord. They were crying out to the Lord if He would please put a stop to this nonsense. If He would please put a stop to these afflictions. If He would please put a stop to the torment. If He would please put a stop to their taskmasters. And it goes on to say, and have heard their cry by reasons of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrow. My brothers and sisters, I stop by to tell you, God every one of us. And every time you cry unto the Lord, he hears our cries. Oh, brother, baby, don't worry about what that man did to you, because the Lord knows. The Lord will take care of it. You will get all of that money back. That is only locked up temporarily. The devil had us on hold, but the Lord is going to release it. Oh, Brother Dorothy, Sister Dorothy, don't worry about that thing that you're going through. The Lord has heard your cry, and he will take care of it. Sister Deborah, don't worry about that thing that you're going through. The Lord has heard your cry. He hears the cries of his people. He knows our situation. He understands what we're going through. He has intervened. He has set things up to work in your behalf. He is going to send people your way to benefit you. He has done the impossible. He has done those things that you think can't happen. The Bible tells us now not to rely upon what our eyes see. My brothers and sisters, that's the kind of God that we serve. He is a mighty God, and he knows what we're going through. But sometimes he will allow us to go through it. We go through it for a reason. It's to teach us lessons. It's to make us strong, to teach us perseverance, to teach us to become resilient. Most importantly, it will strengthen our faith and learn how to depend upon the Lord and the Lord only. He has heard your cries, as he did the children of Egypt. He had heard their cries. And we see here that Moses was summoned to the burning bush. The bush was not really burning. It just looked like it was consumed in fire. It was a heavenly display, an aura from God that made it look like the bush was burning. And God spoke to Moses through that bush, telling him how he is going to be an instrument or a vessel used on his behalf in freeing his people from their torment, from their affliction. My brothers and sisters, if you look at it throughout human history, God has been there every step of the way for each and every culture, each and every group, each and every racial group, whatever the case may be, that has gone to some sort of affliction, some sort of conquering, some sort of enslavement. God hears their cries and he will release them. If you look at slavery here in the United States and understand that it lasted some 300-400 years, and it seemed as if it would never be ended. But God put in place people and situations at that appointed time to bring about the end of slavery. But the thing about the slaves is, even though they're in the midst of their trial, in the midst of that storm, and is going through, they never lost sight of God. They never lost their faith, and they would continue to pray for that day, and eventually that day had come. My brothers and sisters, if you look at the Jewish history, all the things that they have gone through as a nation, World War II, when Hitler killed millions of them, and the oppressions and the indignity and the things that they have had to go through time and time again, but amongst them there were some praying people, and God heard their prayers. God heard their cries. God understands what we're going through. We got to go through it for a minute, but you got to realize that God said 100 years, 1,000, what is it, 100 years is like 1,000 years to him. Yes, amen. But he knows how long it shall last. He knows how long we can stand it. We have a tendency to tell God that we can't take it no more, that we're at our wits' end. But God spoke to me one time and told me, you don't know that